to speak in English, sorry. Hi, I'm Anna. You can find me on the internet as Anna Rosas, _Rosas, that depends where. And before starting, I have a disclaimer. There's been some confusion since yesterday. My sister is here, so we are two different people. She's Ale, she's a tech recruiter, and if you're looking for a job, go find her, she can help you. And this is me, and I'm a backend developer, and if you want to talk about code or anything in tech, come and say hi after the talks. So as I told you, I'm a backend developer at Travis CI. For those who aren't familiar with Travis CI, it is a hosted continuous integration service used to build and test projects that are hosted on GitHub. If you haven't tried it, go ahead and try it. It is free for open source projects. And right now we are 39 builders, and we are distributed around the world. Well, across Europe and North America, and sometimes around the world. Together we speak more than 10 languages, and something really cool about the company where I work is that 50% of the company we are female, so this is really nice. Okay, so let's start. Well, this talk came after some personal experiences, like being the only and first woman developer at 3 different companies where I have worked before. And also it came after hearing some incredible stories from women who were learning to code at different workshops or study groups that I have visited or helped at. And I don't know, after hearing these stories and experiences myself, I started to wonder, how did I even manage to get here, to be working where I am right now? And how did we all get started working in tech, or how did we get interested in that? And why other people didn't get interested in here? And why some other people find our industry interesting after pursuing other careers and stopping that and starting to study code. So, I don't know, I just started wondering and just asked myself, how did we get here? So, on my quest to find answers and also just to satisfy my curiosity, I did some surveys. The first one was, well, the first version was only with my female colleagues at Travis CI, and I did it just to get to know them better for curiosity again. Well, it was very interesting, and I got to do a lightning talk at our company offsite. And it helped me to gather some frequent answers to my questions, and it helped me build the second survey that I posted on Twitter and asked other people outside Travis, everyone, to answer it and to see how they got here. So, I got a really good answer from people that, I don't know, I wasn't expecting that much people, but at the end I got 138 answers from all over around the world. And, well, the questions were, almost all the questions were multiple options or multiple answers. And I left a blank space at the end. I don't know, for them to share stories or leave comments or whatever they wanted to do. And I got really positive feedback from them, from people online, and I was kind of scared from their answers on that open space, but I was really happy with those. It was very positive. Unfortunately, I got some not that positive comments, and those were in real life, but I don't know, I was already expecting that, so whatever. But I don't know, I got excited to see all of the people who got interested in my survey. So for the first questions are more for their background, where they study, at what age they got interested in and stuff. But to begin with, I asked them where are they working right now, on what they are working, what's their current work position. So I'm a developer, so almost all the people I follow on Twitter are developers, some designers as well. And well, in the most part of the people who answered, as you can see, it's developers, and around 90, there were 90 developers and only around 30 were in male, so female or non-binary. The second most answer work position was team leads, and then there were project managers, some designers, and 2 female students. And I also got a older option, and from the other answers were QAs, developer relations, people, sysadmins, community managers, tech leads. So it was like huge variety. The second question, of course, was their gender. And again, it was expected that it was, the most part were male, because we are in tech and most of the people here is male. And well, 65 of them, which is 90, and then, yeah, 90 male, 44 female, I think, yes. And well, this reflects the current stats that we have worldwide, that it's 30% of the workforce in tech are only female. So, I don't know, I think I got a good answer from the survey. I also asked where they were from, and probably because of my social circle, most answers came from the United States, and then they were with 31 people in the United States who answered my survey. Then it was followed by France with 23. I work in France, so that's why my social circle is bigger. And then there was 12 people from Mexico, 11 people from Germany, 12 people from Travis. And then there was 8 people from Spain and 7 on Canada. And a lot more other countries that I didn't expect to have answers from. But it was, I don't know, it was really nice to see how my experiment reached that far. Like interesting numbers I got to see in this question was that from Mexico, the United States, and Canada, half of the people who answered were females, like exactly the half of it. And for the rest of the countries, it was only 3 to 4 women maximum. And the most shocking number for me came from France, where it was the second most answered, and with 23. And from 23, only 3 were women, so that was like a huge difference comparing to the other countries. So the next question was about their major, if they studied anything, if they didn't went to college, or what's their background with their studies. So most of the people studied computer science, and also a good part of them dropped out or didn't went to college, and there was a small part of the group that did studies in arts or graphic design. And again here I left the other option, and I got answers from a lot of careers like economics, world history, biology, Chinese literature. That one really was a surprise for me. And I don't know, there was a lot of different educational backgrounds that I think that makes our community really rich. And it's really funny that I get, well, every time I ask someone, or like in the survey I did at Travis, there's a lot of people that either wanted to study economics or and major in economics, or dropped the career from economics and then switched to computer science. And I don't know, I wanted myself to study economics, and at the end I studied computer science. So I don't know why it's really like related, and there's a lot of people, and that's like one fun fact for this question. And only in Travis there are 4 women in this case for the economics thing, so it's weird, I don't know. I also also asked if they consider themselves self-taught, and a good part of us consider ourselves self-taught. And yesterday, in one of the talks, someone said that we have to keep learning all the time. We are in a career that we are always learning, we are always having new technologies and having to read and just keep ourselves like encouraged to study. So that's probably, even that a lot of people have done studies in computer science, there's a lot of us that just continue. We have to continue studying, so that's why we got this answer. And I also asked them what got them interested in tech. And, well, one of the most answered questions was because they are interested in fixing things. 22 people, well, a small part, it's because they love art and design. Good, half of them, well, almost half of them, it's because they have better job opportunities. Others because they had friends and family that were already working in tech or have something to do with tech. Some of them because of introductory workshops like Rails Girls or Women Who Got Iron, and there's a lot. Some of them also got interested because tech seems like a place where we can have an impact on people's lives. Others because they love science. This one is like the most answered one, the one that has more people that answer it. It's because they have always been interested since they were children. And also because they love problem solving. And on the other option, there were different, but the fun one and interesting is because they like Star Trek. So why not? And this one is a multiple option person, so that's why numbers don't match with the 138. Okay, I also asked them at what age they think they become interested in tech. And as you can see, it's very split, but we can see that almost all of, well, really good part, 75% at least, got interested before or at the latest of their teenager years. So it's something that, since we are little, we start getting interested, and there was just a few that got interested later in their life. And in this one, at the beginning I asked their gender, and this answer doesn't vary between genders, it's very even. So I also asked them if they have role models or they had role models when they were children. A really big part said no, others don't really remember, and a small part also say yes. And again, this doesn't change that much between genders, numbers are very close to one another. I asked them about what influenced them more as children, when they were children. And yeah, like the expected answer was toys and games. And then there comes family, school, teachers or the education system. And then friends, and then on others, there comes the obvious answer that I didn't think about, and it was TV and books. So, those were like the background questions. With those questions, I was aiming to know more, well, a bit more about the people who was answering the questionnaire and their backgrounds. And as I told you, the responses didn't really change between genders, but they were very even and close to each other. And most of them had a strong influence from their close circle, like friends, family, and school. And with school, I mean teachers or colleagues. Those were also played an important role on them. And a good part became interested in tech during their teenager years or before that. So, if the answers don't change that much between genders, why we are still being a male-dominated industry? Because at the end, and we can see on the answers, they're that different. So I I read some articles from the last weeks that say how much of an impact genderized stories have on children and also on their parents. And at the end, this all comes from cultural biases, and cultural biases play an important role in this because how many times we haven't heard that computers are only for boys, and that's just not true, and that comes also from the example from toys. And as a community, we have to show that this isn't the case. We have to, well, everyone is welcome to our community, but we just don't have to say it. We have to show them that they are welcome. Like doing workshops on, like the lighting talk that we just saw, that doing workshops for kids, and for everyone, and just make them feel welcome. And also that's why it is important to support communities like Rosas Girls, Women Who Code, Technovation Challenge. This is what I support. Okay, so after the background questions, I asked them about now that they are working in tech, what is the thing they love the most about working in tech? And the thing they love the most, or that people answer the most, was that they love that they are always learning. And this is a pattern because we have already seen it in other questions. And then the second most answered one was that they like creating useful things and having an impact in people's life, helping people have a better life quality. On the other answers we had, because they really like the people they met, they really love the passion inside the community, and problem solving with others, and that there's always a reason for things to happen in computers. I also have the other options here, and I got different answers. One of them was because pays well, and that's true. They're really privileged on that. And also because they like watching things they make coming alive. Others because they like problem solving by themselves, because I had problem solving with others. For them, they're more like they like to work by themselves. And there was one person that answered because all of the above answers, so they really like being here, I think. Well, I also had to ask about the barriers that we have encountered. And just as a recap, this was answered by 138 people. 90 were male, 44 female, and 2 non-binary, and 2 people prefer not to say anything. So, the options were the following. Having to prove themselves, 45 male answered that. Sexism, being mistreated or discouraged by teachers, and harassment was, you didn't have that much answers from our male peers. Underpayment did, burnout did also, and being looked over promotions a little bit less. So for women, we had, like, it's almost the same. Well, there were 90 male and 44 female, so proportionally it's more or less the same. Sexism, there's a red light there for female. Again, harassment has that too. And underpayment, not that much. I think we have other problems first as female. Then there's burnout and the undercover promotions are, well, the last one is more female that has this problem. So, all of these sends red lights on all the issues that our industry is facing and how toxic it can be. From 138 people who answered this, only 8 people said that they have never encountered any issues or barriers, or however you want to call them. So it's kind of sad because only 8 people from 138 is really nothing. Like, there's a lot of people that have problems here. So I don't know. And also, we can see on some of the answers that some of the problems we have as an industry come before even starting working at our industry, like being mistreated or discouraged by teachers. Like, there's a lot of things we have to work on before starting working in tech. So there were the non-binary answers, but yeah, there were not that much people who answered that. But okay, so I also asked about the imposter syndrome. So just as a background, the imposter syndrome, for those who doesn't know, it is a concept that describes the way that people perceive their achievements and the persistent fear of being exposed as a fraud. I don't know, how many of you have ever thought that? Okay, well, I have. So, here there weren't that many raise hands, but in my survey there was a lot of people who have felt this way. And I don't know if people feel scared of saying it in front of the other people, maybe. But I didn't expect that much of people saying yes. As a woman, I'm sorry, but I didn't expect that much of men, and I'm glad they were honest with me. And I did a close-up between male and female, and as we can see, it doesn't change that much, the numbers. It's not a dramatic difference. And females are a little bit more touched by the imposter syndrome, but not that. And I don't know, even if I was astonished with the numbers, I felt kind of happy that we are on the same boat and that we have felt at some point the same things. Because if we are feeling like this, maybe we can work together in a solution for that and, I don't know, help avoiding having these kind of issues in our industry and feeling more secure of ourselves. And I also asked them if they felt supported by their work colleagues. I was really happy to see this answer because there was almost, I don't know, like 90 people who said that yes, they feel supported, and it's nice to see those numbers. And also it's nice to do a close-up and see that those numbers doesn't change that much between female and male. Still, males are more likely to feel supported by their colleagues, but it's good to see that at least more than half of the women felt supported. And I don't know, I want to take it as a positive sign. I also asked them if they feel supported by their company. And again, it was a positive number, and there's a lot of people who feel supported. And I did close up on the numbers. And it's fairly similar again. And even, I don't know, it changes a little bit, but still it's good to see that companies are working on helping their workers feel supported and encourage them to go ahead. And lastly, I asked them if they felt supported by their colleagues when they were in school. This one tweeted a little bit, and I wanted to ask them this because of the previous questions I made about being discouraged or mistreated by professors, or if they got motivated with school and all that. So because I wanted to know more about their background. And again, I did a close-up on the answers between males and females. And again, numbers were fairly similar, a little bit more even on females, and that didn't feel that much of support with their colleagues, but again, we can see that some of the issues we have as an industry come before starting a career. It comes from school and education. So those were the questions I did on my second round of my survey. And this helped me realize how many similar stories are out there and how how many people was once discouraged by professors, friends, colleagues, or even family. And there's a lot of work to do because people interested in tech exist, but a lot of them doesn't even make it to try it, even studying, because they don't even think they are capable of. I think that if we want to improve our community, we have to start with ourselves. We have to realize the power we have when we are teaching or mentoring people, like new colleagues, juniors, or just people on workshops. We have to understand the importance of supporting our colleagues and our companies, and vice versa, companies supporting their workers. Finally, I would like to invite you to stop for a minute and think, how are you encouraging people around you, your family, your friends, your colleagues, on not giving up? How are you encouraging yourself to continue here? What are you doing to help break these barriers? Again, think about the power you have when you are mentoring and teaching someone. Be mindful that you are someone they trust and that they are listening to you. They will follow what you do. Also, I would like to invite my colleagues here to dedicate yourselves on sexism and racism. Listen to these stories from minorities. All the problems that we are facing as minorities are true, and we need allies to fight this. We are minorities, so we need more people with us. And again, we are a community, and there's proof of how toxic and discriminatory our environment is sometimes. But as a community that we can work on fixing this, but we have to do it together. Gracias.
Okay, thank you very much. So do you have questions for her in the audience? Yes. Awesome.
Did you get any data about like how long people had been in their career, or is that like not in the survey?
Not really. Sorry. I didn't ask them on my question, but other people left those comments on the open space that I left. There were some questions that I thought about them after publishing my survey, like their age or how long they have been working with. It was like the second round.
More questions? Yes.
I was wondering, is there can you share with us any experience you have? I mean, like, what experience you have just because you're a woman, and how did you got over it?
I'm going to give you, discriminatory, you said, right? Yeah, okay. I'm going to give you the latest example. For this talk, I published my survey on Twitter. And I received a lot of comments, like I said, that were very positive. And there was one comment in real life that came from a friend that told me that this survey was very feminist and that I should do another talk instead of this one. That as a woman, we should just get back to work and just forget about those things, that it will come by itself and this will get fixed by itself, which I don't think is true. And that's why we have to keep on doing these kind of talks, because there's people that don't understand that there are problems and that they have to be fixed. They're not going to be fixed by themselves. So it's just listen to people and just show them that they just have to also listen and be open and hear our stories, because discrimination exists, and this is just one example, and this just happened 2 weeks ago. And there's a lot of examples. Like, often on meetups I've been asked that if I'm the girl from marketing, or things like that, and they don't believe that I am a developer. And I don't have to prove anything to anyone, but it bothers, and it's just keep happening again. But then just show them that there are problems.
Any more questions? Yes, no?
Okay. Thank you so much, Anna.